Enough of that. Topic 2. Let's be more positive now. Sorry for once again for that little bit of a speed bump in this episode, but let's get back to what the show is all about. I don't think I should do the full intro, but fuck it. Hey, welcome to the Wait What Are We Talking About podcast. This is episode 217. My name's Bret, aka Enigma9011. You can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011. You can drop a follow over there. You get notified when we go live, so you join in on the fun, chaos, and conversation with us. But if you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week. It's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, any way you can help the show or help us out, likes, shares, subscriptions, whatever it is, reviews. It may seem small, but if you can help, it may seem small, but it does help the channel grow, so you take the time to do that. We would love and appreciate you for it. Today, wide variety of topics, as you saw at the beginning, but we're going to be on the upswing now. We're going to be talking about the fun stuff I've been doing since our last podcast a few weeks ago and since the last stream. Some things we've been checking out, and let's start with some games, because yes, May has been a clusterfuck of indies that have released. A lot of great ones out there, almost too much to kind of play, which certainly is where I'm at. But there's May especially, there's been a lot of indie drops, so I wanted to shout out some games there and talk a little bit more in depth about some that I've been playing more recently. So just to get into it with May releases, I'm just going to call out a few here that have released recently that have caught my eye, or at least are on my radar. I've got Hades 2 is now in early access on PC. That's one, obviously we spent a lot of time in Hades 1. Looking very much forward to Hades 2. This is going to be one, even though it is in early access, I'm probably going to wait on. Was patient for Hades 1. Regardless, I was late to the party, but I'll wait for the full release there. Seems like the people I've listened to, they're really enjoying it. Just adding a whole new kind of layer with a new character, and it seems like the new gods and goddesses that you are dealing with throughout this character's journey. A little bit more emphasis on magic, I believe, instead of the hand-to-hand combat, but we'll see. But looking forward to checking that out and seeing how the story is going to continue there. We've been talking for a while, if we want to circle back to games we're looking forward to this year, but Little Kitty Big City is now out on Switch and PC. Haven't jumped into this yet, but do remember fondly the Steam Next Fest demo when we did play it. So you're a cat in the big city. Shocker! You get lost from your apartment and you're trying to get back to your home. So just solving little platform puzzles with your little cats. You can decorate them with a hat and stuff like that. So looking forward to jumping into that soon. Cryptmaster is also out. If you've been watching the streams, which, a few weeks ago, but we did finally jump into Cryptmaster. Another one we played at the Steam Next Fest demos. Shout out to 61 Indie and their showcase for this being shown. But if you like word puzzles, if you like dungeon crawlers, this is the game for you. It's kind of that nice mixture of word puzzles and combat-esque type encounters. You could do it voice command as well if you want to speak to the Cryptmaster and say your answers there, or you can type in the prompts, whether it's different attacks for your 4 main characters that you're playing with as your party, or to solve puzzles and riddles that are scattered throughout. It's a lot of fun. Some of those puzzles are pretty challenging, but I did enjoy at least the first stream that we did of it, and that puzzle aspect. Lady and I have been lately playing. It's a mobile game, and I know it's not indie, but like Connections, I think it's called. Similar to the word one. Oh, crap. Now I'm going to forget it. Somebody's going to be shouting it at me. It's that daily word game that everybody was hot on for a while. The 5 letters, and you're guessing it so many times. But we've been playing those as a team. Just something to do together for the past couple weeks. And Connections has been a fun one where it gives you like 20 words. I think it's 20. Maybe it's 16. 16 words. Doesn't matter. Yeah, 16. And you have to find connections. Like, you pick 4. Like, how are these 4 connected to each other? And there's 4 different ones that you have to figure out. And I would say, similar to that, Cryptmaster has that fun, like, puzzle-solving mechanic to it. So, it kind of scratches your brain. But I've really been enjoying it so far. Looking forward to diving into it as we continue on stream. Animal Well also dropped on PC and PS5. This is one we shouted out when we went to PAX East. Got to play the demo there. Little sprite dude in the forest, kind of the vibes gave me like Avatar from Disney World, the Navi River Journey, like that color aesthetic and those vibes. You're this little blob going through the forest here, and it's a Metroidvania where you're just trying to solve platform puzzles, explore farther and farther in. Haven't played too much of it here. I think I dipped my toe into it the other day, but this is something I'm looking forward to. I've heard a lot of people are really liking the full release. There's maybe one part that people are kind of struggling with some enemies, but excited to dive more into that, discover the secrets that they've hidden throughout this game. It's got cool vibes, not too much combat, but enough to provide a little challenge. But yeah, looking forward to diving into that more head on. Mullet Mad Jack dropped. This is another one from 6-1 Indie Showcase that we saw. Didn't end up playing the demo from Steam, but this was a time-based run through, defeat enemies. I think the concept of the game is like you got this timer, and if the timer runs out, you die. So every kill you get kind of like adds time to that clock for you, so you can keep going, running through those levels. Looking forward to jumping into that in the full release now. Just looked like fast-paced combat and action similar to like a Neon White, so looks cool. Another one I haven't played yet, but I've heard good stuff about. Most of these I haven't played yet, but Lorelei and the Laser Eyes is out now on PC and Switch. I believe this is, let's see, a woman surrounded by an eccentric man to participate in a project in an old hotel somewhere in Central Europe becomes embroiled in a game of illusions, increasingly dangerous and surreal. Now you're invited to fall into the same rabbit hole in a non-linear mystery with an immense amount of handcrafted puzzles constantly presenting you with new riddles to solve. So it's got some horror vibes, the puzzle vibes as it said. So looking forward to diving into that. Heard good things from the 6-1 crew and the Indie Council. So, yes. Another one I can't speak too much about, but Coffee Caravan dropped. Looks like a Diner Dash-esque cooking management thing. Coffee Caravan, you'll immerse yourself in a world of cafe manager, tasked with brewing up a variety of coffee delights and building your own coffee business on wheels. The game features a charming 3D environment with a pastel-colored aesthetic, and your daily journey takes you on a procedurally generated road trip full of surprises. Throughout your adventure, you'll discover and unlock new coffee recipes, purchase cutting-edge coffee-making appliances, and focus on providing an efficient and enjoyable experience for your customers. It's not just a game, it's a delightful exploration of the world of coffee with a touch of creative flair. So, fun chaos of managing stuff. But, heard good things about that one as well. Then we got two more here that I have played the demos of, both at PAX and here on stream. But we had Venture the Vile, which we played at PAX East. There was a combat demo and also a story demo. The narrative demo was exclusive to PAX, so jumped into that. You were kind of this kid with a little mask on your face, and all the people in the village have these different animal masks, and you and your friend are just going through the forest. You're collecting like food from some traps that you had set up, and you fall into this cave and unfortunately are attacked by this monster. You're able to escape, but it messes up your arm, giving this kind of dark essence power, and you are then dealing with what is going on with this darkness as it seems to invade the forest and home. Here's the description from releases.com, which is where I'm getting all this, by the way. Venture the Vile is a spooky 2.5D Metrovania set in the strange town of Rainy Brook, which has been overrun by a mysterious entity known as the Vile. Absorb the Vile's powers, fight through treacherous grounds that were once your home, and find your lost friend Ella before it's too late. Jump, swing, and fight your way through dangerous enemies as you explore a carefully crafted 2.5D world full of puzzles to solve and secrets to discover. Full of puzzles to solve and secrets to discover. Unlock new abilities to overcome the Vile's monstrosities, even if it means losing your humanity. Explore the quaint seaside town of Rainybrook, which has been infested with the Vile's monsters. Meet the good yet peculiar townsfolk. Help them in various quests to discover their stories and uncover clues that might lead to your lost friend Ella. So yeah, when I talked to the devs very briefly at PAX, they seemed very nice, and this seems like a very cool story that they're telling here. So looking forward to diving into that more. It's kind of got that weird mystery vibe, like I said, with the villagers of like, why are you guys all like this, and kind of spooky vibes. But looking forward to diving into that more, as well as Haunty. Haunty was another one. This one we played the demo on stream. A lot of Gree vibes and that cool art aesthetic and the black and white. But you're a little ghosty, recently passed away, and you are trying to find out who you are while kind of passing on to the next life, I guess, or like the afterlife. This game kicks you right in the balls right in the beginning and makes it a sad game as your little angel friend tries to bring you up and you can't go for some reason. Coming up, Moose, speaking of. But you get dragged back down to this, like, I don't know, not hell, but this weird, darker afterlife limbo type deal. But yeah, looks like a very sweet journey. Like I said, it's going to turn on that emotion, those emotions for you. So looking forward to diving into that and seeing the story that they're telling there. Okay, I think that's everything. Right, Moose? But yeah, that's only obviously the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more indies that did come out in May. But speaking of indies, let's talk about two that I did dive into more fully. Neither came out in May. One actually dropped in April. The other one's been out for a little while, but heard from a podcast and decided to jump in. Artemis has many thoughts. First one I want to talk about is a game called Little Guardsman, L-I-L Guardsman. This Mouse, quiet, come here. The Little Guardsman is essentially, you are a girl named Lil. You are covering for your dad at a guard post, and you are in charge of kind of vetting people that come into the village. Are they good people? Are they bad people? Do they have good intentions, bad intentions, whatever it is? So you kind of question these people. You can use different, not weapons, but different tools that you have in your tool set. Like there's a truth serum, and there's a x-ray machine. There's a decoder ring if they got like secret messages that they're trying to hide from you. And you try and use those tools along with your questioning to try and find out if you should allow this person into the village, into the town, or if you should kind of turn them away and let them go on their merry way. This game's a lot of fun. I've heard it's compared to Papers, Please, which I haven't played. But this has a fun, goofy kind of world that they've built. Like there's some very unique and kind of comical characters that you'll run into. Like I know there was this one girl that we ran into where she comes in, she's just singing, she's all like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and everything she has is in sing-song. But if you start looking at her closer, there's like these red blotches on her outfit, and you're like, ma'am, are you okay? And you can kind of glean that she has other like more nefarious intentions. And the cool thing is too, like after your day, you usually have like 5 people that come up to you in different circumstances with different stories and whatnot. And when you end your day and go to bed, you'll get little synopses or like blurbs about each of the characters, like, oh, so you let so-and-so in, and then they went here, and then they had good luck, bad luck, or whatever happened in their story. And to see the follow-up on some of them is very funny, especially her, where if you turn her away, she like goes on a rampage in another village and then eventually gets arrested. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Glad that went well for at least me, so sorry for the other people. But yeah, it's a very fun and interesting game. I was playing, it's shorter. I was playing it a lot, and I've kind of done my usual thing where I've drifted away from it, but I've been meaning to jump back into it and finish it up. But this one, very chill, very fun, and like I said, with those goofy elements and goofy characters, it's very entertaining. So I would highly recommend it. Little Guardsman. I think it's on everything. But yeah, something, like I said, short, so it's not going to take too much of your time, and it's not going to be backbreaking in terms of difficulty. But there's some, a little thought into, but it's a good time overall. And the story that they're telling as well, on the outside of things, minus just each individual visitor you get, is a fun journey too, with Lil and her dad and what's going on there. So I got one more indie I want to talk about, and this one has fully just kind of put its claws into me. It's another Crab's Treasure. This is by Aggro Crab. Do you guys like Souls-like? Because this is a Souls-like with a crab. Me and Souls-like have this weird, like the Souls games have this weird relationship where I'm really interested in them and like want to enjoy the worlds, like Moose does, that they're exploring. Hey, come here. Say hi in the podcast. Stop yelling at the door. Come here. Talk about Crab Boy. Okay. So another Crab's Treasure. It's a lot of fun. Me and Souls-like have that weird relationship where I want to like them, but usually I'll hit that wall and I'll kind of get frustrated and then not want to play it anymore, and it's just like, I don't feel like the progress is happening. And this one just fully has me locked in. And similar to Liza P, which we talked about a few weeks, like, I feel like I'm getting better at them. At least these two I've had better luck. We'll see if, I jump into a Dark Souls, how much I'm going to get slapped there. But for now, I've been feeling very accomplished in this one. Even when things become difficult, it doesn't feel like it's pushing me away or it's deterring me from trying again and again. It's more of just like, shit, all right, here we go. And you do it again. It's got that motivation. It has the hooks in you to keep you going. And I think what also helps with this is just the completely different look of what you expect from like a Souls-like. Like, you think mostly with these games, and I could be wrong because I don't know, the whole entire genre catalog, but usually there's castles, usually it's dark and spooky, and you got these giant beasts that look really insane and have crazy backstories and moves and all this jazz. And another Crab's Treasure is just the tale of Krill, your little crab. His home gets taken away because he didn't pay his taxes. And he's going back, he's chasing after this debt collector to get his house back, pay off whatever he needs to because a new person came and rolled into town and owns the land. So he's just trying to get his home back. So you go with him. You put on different little shells, similar to how we talked about with Little Kitty Big City earlier with the hats. You have a wide variety of shells here, like a tennis ball or a tin can, a soda can, a little jar, some really funny ones too that you can get. And you just got this little tuning fork, and you're fighting off polluted crabs as you're going through this world and learning like how the pollution is affecting the ocean and corrupting a lot of these animals here. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, the story's goofy enough, and the characters that you run into and interact with is silly. Something personally I really enjoy. Like, they take the pollution aspect, obviously, in putting this in the game for the enemy purposes, but seeing there's one town that's just like all made of trash that's wound up down there, and just seeing how it's laid out is really funny. But the thing I chuckled at, I think the most, is there's a pathway in this city, and roads, they have them paved and paths on the side and whatnot. No, for this one, it's just essentially a long CVS receipt that is your walkway the entire way. So it's silly things like that that really just keep you going in this game in terms of that narrative, that make it a lot of fun, that I've really been enjoying. In terms of gameplay, they still have the big bosses that you'll run into with the Souls genre, that's your main objective, is defeating them. I've had a good time with each of them. I haven't felt like anybody's been really super difficult. Like, I've definitely died, and a few of them died a few times too, but it's never felt like, I hate to compare it to other Souls games, but sometimes, like, when you dodge, you kind of get the baloney and BS calls, like, I dodged, but then they pivot and still hit you, and it's like, what? I haven't felt any frustration with that, and I feel still get that sense of accomplishment when defeating them. I think the thing that's given me the most frustration, ironically enough, is just sometimes the regular enemies. Sometimes you could just get in a bad pocket where there's a lot of enemies there, and you'll get cornered, you'll get punched kind of awkwardly, and just things won't go your way. I think I definitely hit that more at the start. It's been better as I've gone on and learned to deal with them, which also is kind of the point. But yeah, I've been having a blast with it. This one, I want to say I'm like 2/3 of the way through, but I'm not really sure, obviously, because I haven't looked up anything. But I've been having an absolute blast with going with Krill into this journey, and especially for a game genre where I typically stray away or don't see it all the way through. This is definitely one I'm like, yep, I'm committed. We're locked in. We're going through everything here. What's the platinum? All right, cool. Let's get that. Let's go for everything. So another Crap's Treasure, if you guys are interested in Souls-like, or even just trying something like that, I would say this is definitely user-friendly. The moveset that you have with Krill, or the upgrades that you have, are really fun and cool to build towards as well, along with the different shells, which give you like different abilities, different defensive stats, different attack that you can use depending on them. Excuse me. Like, for example, the soda can you can use to like pop out different bubbles, and those can hit your enemies that you're running into. Yeah, just a lot of fun, and the developers definitely had fun sprinkling those elements of comedy into it as well. I think there's one point where one of your allies is talking about like spiraling, and Krill's like, oh yeah, I know all about that. Just that dark humor in there. And then one more element of it's not really a spoiler, but sometimes with games, obviously they're a little difficult. If you want to, there's kind of an easy mode in this game. I haven't tried it out myself, but I've heard about it. So there's another indie game called Squirrel with a Gun. Yep, that's a real title. And that gun is in this game, I guess. So you can just have your little hermit crab with the pistol, and you can one-shot anything you run into. So if you just wanted to run through the story or just cause pure chaos with the gun, you can. I kind of like that. Obviously it's the goofy element of it, but giving people the ability, like, oh, I'm really struggling with something. Okay, I want to take care of it, move past it, and go on to the next thing. I like that instead of just that hard, nope, you can't enjoy the game. And I get it. There's a whole argument. It's like, well, then you just walking through it easy. Don't want to hear it. Just let people enjoy it. You do your thing. They'll do their thing. Enjoy your experience. They can enjoy theirs. But yeah, another Crab's Treasure. I've had a blast with that. Haha. So, it's been a great time.